Bumblebees are distributed around the world and are all part of the genus Bombus. Under the genus Bombus, and this is its real name, there are several subgenus and species. Around 250 species are part of the genus Bombus. Bombus species are part of the family Lapidae. In this video, we are having a look at one of these species that happens to be very common in Europe. This video was filmed in a city in the Netherlands called Gouda by the burgemeester Jamersingel in August 2023. This is the common carder bee. We commonly call these large bees just bumblebees. This bumblebee is quite similar to other bumblebees, but in Europe it can be mistaken for the tree bumblebee, or otherwise known as the new garden bumblebee. Both of them share a ginger or dark ginger thorax, though the tree bumblebee has commonly a dark ginger colored thorax and a round head. The carder bee may also have a hairy thorax with the same color, which may be confusing when trying to identify different specimens. But the most notable difference between them is in their tails. The tree bumblebee has a very identifiable white tail, whereas the carder bee has a tail of the same color as their thorax. And this color varies from ginger to yellow. And in the very end, it starts with a gray color. The proboscis, a sort of tongue used by the bumblebee to collect nectar, is much longer in the case of the carder bee. The common carder bee is scientifically referred to as Bombus pasquorum, and the tree bumblebee is referred to as Bombus hypnorum. In this video, I was only able to get footage of the carder bees. An important thing to mention about the genus Bombus is that it belongs to the tribe Bombini, which, in spite of its funny name, it is a set of different genuses that share the common trait of encompassing large bristly apid bees. These bees belong to the Apidae family that contain 5,700 species, and they all share the trait of having long proboscis, and the worker possess structures on their rear legs to carry pollen around. For most common species, we can distinguish these legs because they are not very hairy and may have no visible hair at all. The genus Bombus is the only extant genus of the Bombini tribe, and this word only means that this is the only genus with living and present species in current times. All the other genuses are only possible to study via fossil records. In the video, we see that all of the common carder bees are very busy getting nectar, and if we look closely, we cannot see the stings that they may have. A colony of carder bees is composed by the queen, males, and worker bees. Both the queen and the worker bees are females. Worker bees are usually in the wild collecting nectar, and they predominantly have 6 segments in their abdomen, and whereas males have 7. The abdomen segments are called tergal segments. Females have 12 segments in their antennae, and males have 13. This makes it very easy to identify what kind of carder bees we are looking at. However, the video doesn't offer that kind of definition, and as a result, we can't really count any of these segments. It is also reported that males are slightly fluffier than females, and that the female mandible is slightly curvier than the males. But again, the camera definition doesn't really allow to make that distinction. I didn't come across any nest, but I assume that nests aren't that far away. It makes perfect sense that workers possess stings because they are the ones that spend most of the time out of the nest collecting nectar. So this gives them a weapon to help them defend against possible predators. Males also spend some time out and about, and that time is much shorter than the workers' time. Males have been shown to spend some time taking care of larvae, and when they go out, although they hunt for nectar, that nectar is used only for food. They don't carry it around, and they are simply scouting for possible areas to mate with the queen. Worker bees aren't usually aggressive, but that can all change if we try to grab them or annoy them enough. They will use their sting in those situations. And because they are not barbed, they can use them multiple times. We are now at the beginning of the end of summer 2023, and this is the end of August. At around this time, the queen will start laying unfertilized eggs that will eventually spawn new male bumblebees. At the same time, the queen will choose to lay a certain amount of eggs that, using pheromones and intensive feeding, will develop larvae that will eventually transform into new queens. These new queens will mate with the males in the wild and carry their sperm, hibernate, and come back during spring to search for a new nest location and start the process all over again. That is, if the colony is successful, of course. Bumblebee colonies are reportedly to be not very successful, unfortunately. The common carder bee workers have a very important role in pollination. Thanks to their long proboscis, they can reach deep into flowers. For example, faba bean flowers are quite a delicacy for these bumblebees, and because of that, they are quite able to ensure a successful harvest for different crops. Having said all of this, were you able to already detect if the carder bees in this video are queens, males, or females? Let me give you some help. Point 1. Queens range in length from 15 to 18 millimeters. Worker bees range in length from 9 to 15 millimeters. Males range in length from 12 to 14 millimeters. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't allow to measure this. Point 4. Females have 6 tergal segments. Point 5. Males have 7 tergal segments. Unfortunately, we can't also see this in the video. Number 6. The antennae of female has 12 segments. Number 7. The antennae of male has 13 segments, which again are not observable features in this video, of course. Males are fluffier than females. Not entirely sure if this is also true, but we also have no reference point in this video to observe this. Point 9. The mandible of the female may be slightly rounder than the male. Also not observable in this video, and maybe not a very reliable way to discern between males and females. So we don't seem to have anything to distinguish if any of these bumblebees are queens, males, or females. However, if you haven't already noticed, here are some facts. There couldn't be any queens at this point. They are currently in their nests, worrying about the next offspring and doing their best to be successful in that. So we are left with a male and female dilemma. But we do have number 10, which I purposely only subtly mentioned at the beginning of this video. Number 10. The rear legs of females contain pollen sacs that only the workers have. These legs usually are hairless and have very little hair. If the bumblebee has been collecting nectar for just a short time, we'll see some small nectar nuggets hanging out of their rear legs in these cases. If you notice the different bumblebees very carefully, you may have noticed that all legs are shiny, some of them look a bit swollen, and in some of them you can already see some nuggets. These are all females. These are all worker carder bumblebees. In Dutch, bumblebees are called hummels. In German, they are called hummel. And in Portuguese, they are called abelhão. This particular species is known in Dutch as the akkerhommel. In German, akkerhommel. And in Portuguese, no distinction is made, and it's just called abelhão. This has been my short introduction to the common carder bumblebee. Don't forget to read the description for more information about these bumblebees. I have placed all of the resources I've used to make this video in the description, and they are all available online. If you enjoyed this video, please like, don't forget to subscribe, leave your comment in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a good one, keep it graceful, and stay sharp.